My wife and I were watching the HBO series Chernobyl, and we actually learned quite a few things. We learned how corrupt the communist government was, but one of the things you really learn that really holds your interest is what radiation does to the human body when you're in direct exposure to it. When I saw what can happen to your face and your skin and your whole body, how it just starts to melt, I peed a little. Welcome to Rumble Book Club. I'm your host, Michael Hernandez, and this is the show where a normal guy like me can talk about interesting books I've read, old and new, good and bad. So if you like the show, you like the content, you like the books that I talk about, or maybe you're creeped out by Chernobyl too, well, you've come to the right place, my friend. You can follow me on Twitter, TikTok, and Parler, or you can subscribe right down below on YouTube and Rumble. But more importantly, help this channel grow, be a part of the conversation, share these videos with your friends, and comment also down below. Let me know if there's any books that you want me to read, that you'd like me to cover, and I might even add them to the list, do a video of them, and give you a shout out for recommending me to a good book. Today we're going to take a look at a bone-chilling book. It's a fantastic fiction that I read from the 1980s, I believe. It's a fun one. I'm glad I just finished it because now I get to share it with you. Today we're going to take a look at The Mask by Dean Koontz. So this book covers the story of a young girl with no apparent past and a highly accomplished couple who come together by chance or by fate, you find out, to create a bone-chilling story of fear and memory. How dare you? So let's get into our three-part criteria. We always judge based on the aesthetics, how the book looks, how it pops off the shelf, the readability, how just a normal person can read it, not just mentally, but also physically, how the book, how the layout is, and then finally the content, what you're getting between the covers. Now let's start with the aesthetics. It's a very old school style book, definitely fits in with that 80s mystery ghost story genre. The theme, the colors that they use kind of remind me a little bit of Mardi Gras, but the imagery is very simple with your kind of sinister mask in the middle. Good clean cover as far as the actual picture, and then the wording, it can get a little busy with this extra text at the top and the bottom, but nonetheless very good title that pops off the shelf. As far as the aesthetics go, very strong, 8 out of 10. Now let's look at the readability. This was actually my very first time reading a Dean Koontz book, and I have to say I'm really impressed. I flew through it with relative ease. It's definitely a page turner. The fact that I read through it pretty easily is not to say that he's not crafty and intelligent with his use of the language. But he does strip down a lot of the unnecessary scenery while still painting a vivid enough picture to capture your imagination and really suck you into the story. As far as how it reads on the eyes, good cream-colored pages with clear, although albeit slightly smaller font. Decent margins considering this is a smaller handheld paperback. You can definitely just tuck it into your backpack. It's made for that. So all things considered, very strong on the readability, 9 out of 10. Now let's look at the content. Carol and Paul Tracy are both doctors that are active in the community and happy in their marriage. While going through the finishing touches of that adoption process, they're suddenly interrupted with an ominous sign in a storm. And Carol's dear friend and former foster parent also senses something horrible is coming. Shortly after this experience, Carol comes across a young girl in the stormy rain, actually kind of hits her with the car by accident. And she doesn't remember her name, she doesn't remember her past, she remembers nothing about herself. Now, using her experience as a clinical psychologist, Carol takes the girl under her wing to try to unlock her memories to figure out where her home is, where her parents are. But deep within her psyche, there's something incredibly horrible stirring in the darkness that wants to break out. Paul and Carol find that there are dark forces that long to come out into the open, but also that there are mysterious forces that seek to warn them of the coming danger. I found this book to be really gripping, a definite page turner from cover to cover. This is one of the few books where I stayed up almost all night reading half the book. That's how gripping this book was. It was a great read as far as the content goes. It's fantastic, 9 out of 10. I found this book at a local secondhand bookstore here in the Houston area. You could probably find it at a secondhand store, or if worst comes to worst, you can check your online sources, Amazon or eBay. It's a great read. I think it should be on everyone's shelf. It's a great piece of fiction. The book is The Mask by Dean Koontz. Go out and get yourself a copy. Thanks for watching, everybody, and go read something.